Fare Evasion. That's right, I get a lot of people playing games. That's right, I get people are constantly trying to get on the bus, pretending they've got a pass and they haven't. It's raining, let me get on my bus. Let me get out of the rain. That's better. Let me get the cat. Let's get the camera. It's wet. Let me just scratch. There we go. Not scratch the camera. Let me just try and get that camera nice and dry. It's waterproof. My phone is waterproof. Where was I? Yes, I was out in the rain. No, I was talking about fare evasion. In other words, people evading paying a fare when they board a bus. And just in case an inspector gets on, you need to have one of these. Unpaid fare reports, just to cover your own back. You don't want to get in trouble if an inspector gets on. I mean, I only give these out, it's basically at the driver's discretion. Basically, it's to be issued to passengers only in exceptional circumstances. I've covered this on a previous video about a year or so ago. But I had someone on my bus and again, they were playing games. Don't confuse the driver when boarding. I actually did a video on that a few years ago. In fact, I nearly didn't do that video. I ended up doing it and then it got 280,000 views. I didn't think that would happen on my channel. But then again, I did have about another 7 videos that got lots of views as well previously, so that's probably why. Anyway, stay focused, Anton. Stay focused. Yeah, basically somebody got on my bus and I don't know, he was saying the next stop, 2 stops, he was very vague. They try and play games. What's important is that when you come to a bus stop, you usually can tell if somebody is going to pull a fast one. In other words, they're going to pull wool over your eyes. You just got to watch them. You just got to remain calm, pull up to the bus stop and watch them. Just watch them. You don't have to, you know, and usually it can spook them out. Now, obviously, this person did have a bank card, but they had an Oyster card, just like one of these. But it didn't work. That's right. They tapped in and it said no money on the card. So I said, do you know there's no money on your card? In other words, sometimes I'm not saying I want to play dumb, but I just want to kind of, you know, it's obvious, you know, you have no money on your card. Did you know that? To try and get an answer from him. And as you know, the guy tried to play dumb as well. So I played dumb at his game. All I want is a passenger to pay their fare. But they'll do whatever it takes to get away with it. Driver, yes, I've just got it in my pocket. Just give us one second, driver. I think it's in my left pocket. No, it might be my right. Maybe inside pocket. Just wait a minute. Wait a minute. I ain't got all day, mate. That's right, us drivers, we have a schedule, you know. We have to be somewhere, we can't just hang around. Now eventually this guy got his bank card out and he paid. So I'm just wondering, how often does this happen to all you bus drivers out there? Does this happen quite a lot? Please let me know in the comments below. It happens to me on a regular basis, far too often. It just happens every day on a bus. People try and fleece me. Let me know the situations that you've come across on your bus. If it happens to me, then it's going to happen to you too. People will do whatever it takes to get away with things. £1.55, they'll do whatever it takes to save £1.55. But you can usually tell who are the genuine ones. There's just something about them, especially when you come up to the bus stop. You can sense if someone's about to do something. They have this guilty look, like they're concentrating. I hope it goes well. Maybe this driver, I think, I don't know about this driver, maybe I'll try it, I'll give it a go. But there's no point trying to guess, because after nearly 20 years, I still can't guess. Everybody's different. I never know if someone's got an agenda, if they're trying to scheme their way onto the bus. You'll always be guessing. It's a guessing game, this job. I mean, there's no point stressing about it. Just take it easy. That's the best way in this job. Just don't rush, take it nice and easy, and you'll have all kinds of things happen to you. And you'll know from watching my videos what happens to me as a bus driver. I won't have to go into detail on everything, but you know, some extreme things can happen. You know, you can be spat on. You know, things can happen. People can pass away, as what happened on London Bridge. You know, you can have all kinds of things happen, and you never know when something's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen in 10 seconds. Everything seems normal now, doesn't it? I'm not saying a plane's going to drop out of the sky. I'm just saying you don't know what is going to happen. So don't worry. Don't worry about the job. Just take what comes. I think it's one aspect of the job is fare evasion. People don't like that bit, but it comes with the job, you know. I know you could stop the whole service because somebody doesn't want to pay, but then you've got to think about everybody else who wants to get to their destination. You know, there's always somebody who messes it up for everybody else. And what I actually do is I can say to someone, you know, I'm going to call the police, and they're going to come on the bus within 4 or 5 minutes, and they're going to take you off the bus, and I'm going to still be here. It's just not worth it. But then they test you, you know. And then I can actually ring the iBus. I can say, right, you know, I'm calling the police, and I end up speaking to the iBus. Now, the passenger trying to get on for free doesn't know that. But that's what I kind of do at times, because I just want to keep the service running. I want to get this person off the bus, so I'm trying to do whatever I can to keep the service running, because I don't want to stop the service and everyone has to get off and get on the next bus, and the next bus is going to be quite full, and I don't want to offload things onto the next driver. But just let me cover a few things here on the unpaid fare reports if I haven't covered it before. It says here, when you're issuing a unpaid fare report, you should not allow anyone to travel if they do not have a valid ticket or pass, obviously, as I've been stating, unless they are in distress, potentially vulnerable or unable to look after themselves. Example, a crime victim. Now, I know occasionally at the hospital I've had some people get on, literally looks like they've just come from the ward. Maybe they've been in an accident, they've lost their wallet, and they just need to get home, you know, and I help them out. But this obviously comes in handy, you know, because if an inspector gets on, you're gonna have to explain yourself, you know. That's why this is here, so you can issue these, so you can cover your own back. The driver must cover his or her own back. Anyway, secondly, it says here, obviously, you should not allow anyone to travel if they do not have a valid ticket or pass, unless you feel threatened by a hostile passenger who cannot or will not pay their fare. Now, with this person, they eventually did pay their fare. I think years of doing this job has helped me to kind of see how I can get around things. You know, I remember actually when I had school kids when I was up north, and they'd always try and get on without paying. They would buy sweets and they wouldn't have any money to get on the bus to go home. There were some really crafty kids, you know, but I remember I tried to get them in line. The supervisor, called Dave up in Huddersfield, he helped me out. He said, get them in line. It'll take a while. Turn the engine off. Show that, you know, you're in control and you're not going to move until they all get in a line. And it took a while. It took a few minutes. And when you got back on the bus, they tried to push in again. Nope, get in a line. This is when we had step buses. There were no low floor buses then. And I can remember them getting in line. Now, I did the same bus, I think, a few days later, and some of them remembered me and got in line, but some didn't. Again, it was a pain in the neck to do, but they eventually got in line. And the third time I did the bus, a week later, they all thought, oh, it's that driver again. It's that driver. And they all got in line. And it was great. So it was hard at first, but it got easier. Do you know what I mean? Right, and the third point here says, You should not allow anyone to travel if they do not have a valid ticket or pass, unless you believe there is another good reason to allow someone to travel without paying. So if you believe there is another good reason to allow someone to travel without paying, there you go. Whatever that reason is. But this covers your own back, just in case. I think that's what it says on the inside here. Obviously it says here when you fill, it's self-explanatory. You fill in parts of the form here. You know, the reason for issuing the ticket. There's extra information on the back if you want to put it. You give the passenger the bottom part of this form and you hand the top part in at the end of your shift. And if a revenue protection inspector boards, tell them of any issues that are formed immediately. In other words, if an inspector gets on your bus, you don't want to think, oh, maybe you won't know. No, just tell them, look, someone's trying to get on, blah, blah, blah. Cover your own back. It's your job at the end of the day. You know what I mean? You don't want to get any disciplinary hearings. And so, yeah, it's all self-explanatory here. You just put the date, the time, what route you're driving, the location where you are on the route. And you also ask for the passenger's home postcode. This is quite good, actually. Because usually I ask them, you know, your postcode. It kind of can throw them off a bit. I know people, you know, want to have privacy and all that, but it just shows that, look, if, you know, just, it says here, passenger's home postcode. And then you put the reason for issuing it, which is either confrontation or vulnerable or in distress, which is the same. Vulnerable and in distress is the same. Or there's another reason which must be given on the other side. So if someone tries to evade their fare, this covers your back. Again, I don't know, some drivers said we weren't doing these anymore, but some drivers said we are. So let me know in the comment section, am I wrong here? Do we still issue these? I'm confused. I don't know what's going on, but I know that I've got some and I can issue these to cover my own back, but let me know in the comment section if we're still doing these or not. I know we used to have yellow ones years ago, about 6-7 years ago. Now we've got orange ones. I don't know if we're doing these anymore, but this covers your back in case an inspector gets on. Bus drivers, cover your own back. And that's the end of the video on fare evasion. Please let me know in the comment section, any of you bus drivers, on what's happened with you. You don't have to put into, you know, lots of detail what happened, but just let me know your thoughts and comments here. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel Double Decker Anton. Please like and share this video. Turn all your notifications on, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye, and have a lovely day, everybody.